So maybe 2024 went to shit for you. I'm going to give you guys the greatest gift that you can give yourself today on Christmas. And if you're watching this after Christmas, it's the greatest gift that you can give yourself. And it's not a pool in your backyard, it's not a Lamborghini in your driveway, and it's not the perfect partner. The best gift that you can give yourself to have a legendary 2025 is this one thing, and it's a decision, which I'm going to share here in this video. All right. Before we dive in, I'm Jeremiah Sullivan. I was a small town kid, man. I didn't have big dreams as a kid. I was a worker as a kid. I used to do landscaping with my dad, and we used to do bear hunting, and I used to hunt with them to put food on the table, man. And I didn't really have big dreams as a kid. I didn't think I was capable of much as a kid. And one day I decided to try to become an athlete because I thought that's what success was. Well, I failed at that, and when I failed, I ended up quitting on myself, and I just settled. There's very few feelings that are more shitty in the world than quitting on yourself. All right, most people in life quit on themselves. Most people don't have the lifestyle they want, they don't have the body that they want, they don't have the relationships that they want. And I've been in that spot many times in my life, and I'm here to help you guys transform and get those exact things, the life that you want, the body that you want, and if you want, the partner that you want. So that's what I'm gonna talk about in this video. I'm gonna talk about the greatest gift that you can give yourself to get those things in 2025, to make 2025 legendary for yourself, because I guarantee that some of you guys right now, it's the end of the year, Christmas right now as I'm recording this, and you guys are sitting there and you look back on 2024 and you are pissed. You hate the way that some of the things went in your life, maybe your personal life, maybe your business was thriving, or your career was thriving, but you're not doing so great. You're not doing so hot. You poured a lot into everything else but yourself, and so you're closing out this year and you're sitting there and you're feeling empty-handed and you're feeling lonely. Well, that can change in 2025. All right. There was when I was in the military, I came in the military, I turned 20 years old when I came into the military, or excuse me. When I went to Iraq, I turned 20 and 21. When I got back from that deployment, I had decided to become an officer. So I put in this application to go from enlisted soldier over to officer. I wanted to be a difference maker in the military. I wanted to be somebody that made a difference in society. I wanted to be somebody that made an impact before I died. So I dropped this packet to become an infantry officer, and part of the requirement was I went back to school. So I went back to college after I had dropped out, and I was extremely anxious. I had a hard time adjusting to regular civilian life. I didn't relate to people. I had, to be honest, low self-esteem with myself. Like, I just hadn't built myself up into a confident leader quite yet. Well, the holiday season rolled around. I remember sitting there, and I didn't have any connections, any real friends. I had just gotten out of the military. I was in this school, and I remember sitting in my room that I shared with another guy, and he was an Asian dude that was really heavy set, and he used to play a lot of video games in the room. I shared a room with him. Nice guy to me, but we barely spoke, and we didn't really connect at all. And we didn't really relate. I had just gotten out of the military. He was doing his first term in college. Anyways, point is that he went out and did his thing during the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, and I was in that room by myself. And I remember sitting there in that room alone on the holidays, not feeling like I had no friends, I had no connections, and I ended up, I was 21 at the time, and I might have just turned 22. But I remember I went out, I ordered some pizza, I ordered some alcohol, bought some alcohol. I went out and got some Jack Daniels, and I think it was Domino's. And I sat there that night, and I got tanked, and I ate pizza. And I remember sitting on the floor in my room, because all I had was my twin bed, and I remember sitting there eating the pizza, getting drunk, and just crying at 21 years old, man. What a sad fucking place to be. Sitting in a room by yourself during the holiday season, crying because you're lonely, crying because you can't relate to people, crying because you feel like you went through all this sacrifice and there's nobody there for you. It can be that loneliness is very relatable to entrepreneurs, it's relatable to veterans, it's relatable to high achievers. It absolutely sucks to feel that alone. Well, fast forward to later in my military career, and I found myself in a very similar situation after I had become an officer. And it was the holiday season. I was away from my wife. I was over in Georgia, and it was during that holiday season that I just found myself drinking once again. Well, I'll tell you guys, one of the things that turned my life around, and which will turn your life around, is that on those dark times, on those lonely times, what I realized is after I woke up the next day hating the fact that I tore myself up the night before, I started focusing on building a better version of me. And that's really when things started to work, when things really started to click. When you, up until this point, I was searching for something outside of myself, right? Like I was back in school, I wanted friends, I wanted connections, I wanted people around me, I wanted that love and connection. When I was in Georgia, during the second story that I'm sharing with you guys, I wanted the same type of thing. I wanted external stimulation, but I didn't really appreciate myself. I didn't like being alone with me. Now, what ended up happening is I started getting really, really focused on who I could become. So I ended up deciding there's only two places to go when you're at rock bottom like that. You have to either you end it or you fucking turn it around. And God wants us all to turn it around. He wants us to become the purpose that is inside of us. He wants us to become that diamond that's inside. And so both of those moments, I decided to chase a better version of me. And when I got clear about who I could become, that became inspirational to me, man. And I want to ask you guys, as you're thinking about 2025 and you're thinking about 2024, who do you want to be in 2025? Because right now, maybe things didn't go your way in 2024. Well, next year in 2025 and Christmas, when you sit down, who the hell do you want to be? I want to challenge you guys to save this video and come back to it on Christmas of 2025. And I want you guys to all make a promise to yourself that this is going to be the last holiday season that you feel like this, that you're going to chase the best version of you. Because that is the biggest gift that you guys can give yourself this holiday season, is deciding who the hell you're going to be. Are you going to be this victim? Are you going to be this loser inside of your mind? Or are you going to choose to become that winner? Become that person that's inside of you, so that when you sit down, even if you are sitting there on Christmas Day and New Year's and Thanksgiving next year and you're alone, that you look in the mirror and you love that motherfucker that you're looking at. Because I'll tell you, man, years in between those stories that I just shared with you, there were times where I was so fucking proud of who I had become, man. Okay? I mean, it's going to be a long, hard road to change who you are. It's one of the most difficult things that you could ever do, right? Getting a six-pack, fucking dropping the drink, those were some of the hardest things that I ever did. They really were. And changing myself, man. If you guys met me 5 years ago, if you met me 10 years ago, I'm a completely different person. The way I speak, the way I talk, my energy, everything about me, my belief system. But it all started with deciding who the fuck I was going to be. Small town kid, guys. Small town kid, landscaper. I used to wash dishes too for my grandmother in a restaurant. I worked for minimum wage. I worked in a temp agency for some of my life. I mean, I went from quitter to winner, ranger, infantry officer, entrepreneur. And now I can sit here and confidently sit here in front of you guys and tell you that the thing that how you're gonna find inner peace next holiday season is by giving yourself this gift today. You give yourself the gift of deciding who the fuck you're gonna be. Stop chasing the things that you want. Stop chasing the money. Stop chasing the things outside of yourself. Go inside and figure out who the hell you want to be, and then put a plan in place to become that man or that lady. If you guys need a starting point, down below in the link of this video, I always put my my discipline advantage free guide. That's your starting point. It'll help you get yourself right. It'll help you start eating clean, have a good structured morning routine that's congruent with building your best self. You guys download that, go through the steps, and start dropping the drink, working on your habits, being disciplined, getting good information in your mind. Start expanding that mindset, because you're holding yourself back. all the money in the world is not going to make you feel better about you. But what will make you feel better about you is sitting down, deciding who you're going to be, and start building that person brick by boring brick, day by boring day. And all it really takes is one day of perfect execution where you knock out all those tasks in that list. You stay on the path of your purpose. You stay on the path of building your best self one day, and you're going to have that fucking that massive motivation. Oh my God, that felt so good. It's like the first time you got laid. Oh, what the hell was that? All right. But seriously, guys, I really do want you to feel good, and you can start feeling good today. So drop the drink. Don't do that shit this holiday season. Start focusing on who the hell do you want to be by 2025 at Christmas time next year. I love you guys. Download the fucking Discipline Advantage. Get to damn work. Hit me up if you need anything on Instagram. Just message me YouTube first so I know you guys came from YouTube. And let's fucking do this together. Let's conquer 2025. Let's get it. Conquer all.